wanted to target the vastus medialis is the most medial of the quadricep group. So what we would do for this one is Cassandra is going to go into external or lateral rotation of the tibia. By going into lateral rotation of the tibia, we're placing greater myofascial tension on the medial aspect of the Hey everyone, Steven here from Team Euphoric, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to squat by going through some squat regressions. Specifically, today I'm going to be teaching you how to do the Bulgarian split squat. The squat is one of the best exercises that you can perform, and it's a movement pattern that you perform on a daily basis. Every single time you go to stand up or sit down, you are squatting. Every single time you go to drop the Browns off at the Super Bowl, you are squatting. Every single time you go to get into your car, you are essentially doing a pistol squat with a lateral shift and a twist. It is one of the 7 primal patterns, along with pushing, pulling, bending, lunging, twisting, and gait. Unfortunately, one of the problems that most people either don't know how to squat properly, or they lack the proper mechanics in their hips, knee, or ankles, and they have some type of dysfunction in that area. So if you are somebody that can't squat properly, or if you have problems in any one of those areas, these squat regressions would be an excellent way for you to be able to learn how to squat. The squat progression that I'm going to be demonstrating for you today is going to be the Bulgarian split squat, or the back foot elevated split squat. With regard to this variation right over here, the reason this is going to be a little bit more difficult is because as we start to elevate the back foot, we are going to require a lot more mobility in the hip of the back leg. Whereas when we were doing the front foot elevated split squat, when the front foot is elevated, we require less mobility in the back hip. So if you are somebody that has extremely immobile hips, then this may be a little bit more difficult for you, and you may want to go back to the standard split squat. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to include a link right over here to that video, but this would be the progression to the split squat. Right now, I'm going to have Cassandra get her back leg up on the actual step, and you could do this either on a stepper. If you have a bench, you can do it on a bench, or if you have an actual device that is designed specifically for Bulgarian split squats, you can use that. But everything is going to be the exact same as the last variation of the split squat with regard to the pelvis, the shoulders, and the head. We want to maintain the retro version of the pelvis. We're keeping the shoulders back. We are keeping the chin tucked in. The crown of the head is up toward the sky, and with the eyes, we are looking down toward the floor to put the dura mater under tension. With the front leg, I'm going to have Cassandra just move a little bit more forward, and from this position right over here, she's going to squat down as low as she can while maintaining a nice neutral spine. So you don't want to hinge forward at the hips. And this is the Bulgarian split squat, or the back foot elevated split squat. Now I'm going to have Cassandra just take a little bit of a break, and we are going to move the steps over here, and I'm going to have her do it from the front. As with the other split squat variations, if we want to target specific fibers in the quadricep group, we can do so by playing around with the levels of internal and external rotation. If you recall, with regard to the quadricep group, we have 3 main knee extensors, and that's pure knee extensors. We also have the rectus femoris, but that attaches to the anterior inferior iliac spine. So because it attaches at the pelvis, it's also going to have a component of hip flexion. With regard to the quadriceps, the vastus medialis, the vastus intermedius, and the vastus lateralis are pure knee extensors. So if we want to target specifically the vastus intermedius, we would have the knee in line with the foot pointing straight ahead. If we wanted to target the vastus lateralis, I'm going to have Cassandra get set up on the box, and we are going to we're going to be doing the back foot elevated. So for this one right over here, just get your back foot on the actual step, and you're going to place your front leg forward. From this position right over here, if we want to target the vastus lateralis, the vastus lateralis is the most lateral. So what we would want to do is go into medial rotation of the tibia. So for this one right over here, I'm going to have Cassandra go into slight medial rotation. That's a little bit too much. For the vastus lateralis, all we want is about 5 to 10 degrees, because this is going to place a lot of torque on the knee if you go into excessive rotation of the tibia into internal rotation. And everything else is exactly the same. Pelvis is in retroversion, shoulders are held back, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is up toward the sky, eyes are looking down toward the floor to put the dura mater under tension, and she's going to maintain a tall neutral spine as she goes down into the split squat progression. And this is the Bulgarian split squat, or the rear foot elevated split squat, to target the vastus lateralis muscle fibers. Next, if we wanted to target the vastus medialis is the most medial of the quadricep group. So what we would do for this one is Cassandra is going to go into external or lateral rotation of the tibia. By going into lateral rotation of the tibia, we're placing greater myofascial tension on the medial aspect of the femur, which is going to allow for greater recruitment of the vastus medialis muscle. So she's going to go just into a little bit more external rotation of the tibia. Perfect. Everything else is exactly the same. maintain retroversion of the pelvis, shoulders are held back, chin is tucked in, crown of the head is up toward the sky. With the eyes, she's looking down to the floor to put the dura mater under tension, and she's going to maintain a nice tall spine. So she's going to go down, and without letting her hips hinge forward, she is going to end up targeting more the vastus medialis when we are performing this specific variation of the exercise. And I'm going to have her just relax now because that's it for the demonstration. So once again, this is the Bulgarian split squat. This is the progression to the standard split squat. And if you want to play around with the different foot positions, you could try each of them. If you want to target the vastus lateralis, you go into medial rotation of the tibia. If you want to target the vastus intermedius, the toes are pointing straight ahead. And if you want to target the vastus medialis, you would go into lateral rotation of the tibia. Try each of those, see which ones is the most difficult and which one you are weakest in. Whichever one you're weakest in, that's the one that you need the most. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to make more of these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.